Hello. Camera on. Recording.
Many of you, probably most of you, considering there's not that many of you in the first place, have known me for quite a while. And by which I mean like 10 years, you know. I don't know how many have noticed. I know one or two have. Because I noticed, and I'm not the most observant person out there, as most of you probably know. I am not the same person that I was in 2007. By a long shot. And a lot of people will be like, well, yeah, no shit, people change. That's a good thing. And that's part of it. I, for a long time, I felt like I'm getting older, you know? And I don't mean, yeah, I'm 36, that's not that old. I mean, like, I hear what people who are 50 say they feel like, and that's how I've been feeling. And it's been slowly, you know, it's like I feel like I was aging too fast, basically. And I noticed that about 2-3 years ago. And I've also been feeling rather shitty and basically just kind of general depression. If you just think about all the shit that comes with depression, it's like, yeah, I can check that box. And that's been going on for like, God, 8 years now. You know, I felt that way since just before I moved out of Texas. And I've taken notice of all this, and I never wanted to go to a doctor and say, hey, I think I'm depressed, because I own guns and the government knows about it, and I don't want that diagnosis to be in my chart anywhere, because that can cause some real issues, especially if certain politicians get their way, you know. So basically I left it untreated, and I didn't really worry about it, and it was just like, well, you know, I'm living with it. It is what it is. And also I had good days, bad days, and I felt like, you know, I can kind of pull myself out of it when I need to. And then one day, about 6 months, well, no shit, like a year ago, I'm watching TV and I see one of those low testosterone commercials. And they're going down the list of side effects, or like, damn it, you can't wipe your nose with your visor down, dipshit. They're going down the list of symptoms, and they've got them like check boxes, right, on TV. And I remember sitting there, and I don't remember what all the symptoms were, but I remember sitting there going, yep, holy, yep, okay. And then I started thinking about the stereotypical things that testosterone does. You know, it makes you angry, makes you not necessarily angry, but very aggressive, and it makes it easier to build muscle and stuff like that. And you know, I tried working out for a while, and it didn't really go anywhere, which was kind of upsetting. And I know as you get older, see, this is where I was saying I felt like I was getting older. I know as you get older, it's harder to stay in shape, and it turns out that's because your body slows down the testosterone production, and you just react differently to lifting weights and all that. And yeah, you can stay in pretty good shape when you get older, but it's nowhere near as easy, and you will not be as muscular as you would have been in your 20s and early 30s, you know. So I get to looking up other symptoms, and it turns out that low testosterone mimics depression a lot. Like, almost a perfect, they're almost identical, you know. And I was like, wow. And of course, low testosterone has other, you know, it's in addition to all the shit that depression causes. Damn it, my nose keeps itching. So I get to thinking about it, and I had decent insurance through work. It's not the greatest, but it's good enough. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go see a doctor, and I'm gonna get this shit checked out. And I didn't want to be that guy who walks in and goes, hey, I saw this on TV and I think I've got it. But that's kind of what you got to do, you know? Doctors tend to want to dismiss you if you say that. So you have to know how to approach it, you know? And I'm sure that has a lot to do with the individual doctor, but because some of them are like, oh yeah, let's check it out, you know, and others are going, yeah, they shouldn't air that shit. I've seen both sides. I'm part of a medical group on Facebook that's 99% nurses, and the shit that they talk about patients doing is amazing. But anyway, I'm gonna pause this one and we'll come back for part 2 in a second.
Recording stopped. Goodbye.